Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome this Shabbat evening. Much of what I learned at Hebrew Union College went in one ear and right out the other. Some of it has stayed in there, and one of the things that stayed was you start the service on time. And this was before we were tethered to live stream and making sure that the service didn't go over time. I think that's one of the greatest inventions of Reform Judaism, is the live stream that ensures that the service does not go on forever. Welcome to Shabbat. It's a pleasure to be with you. You'll notice that there's another rabbi here and a rabbi here and a president there and a soloist there. So we'll begin our service by welcoming Rabbi Neil Katz from Temple Beth El in Tyler, Texas, my friend of more than 30 years.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm going to teach, as our opening song, I'm going to teach Oseh Shalom. It's not the melody that you've heard before. It's a newer melody, new in terms of maybe for this congregation. But I only want to teach you the Hebrew, because I'll sing the English. So I'm going to sing a line, and I'm going to ask you to sing back. The reason why we're learning it now is because when we come out of silent prayer, we'll sing it together. So I'll sing a part and you sing it back. It's pretty easy. Oseh Shalom Bimromav. Let's just try that. Oseh Shalom Bimromav. Good. Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu. Try that. Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'imru Amen Ve'imru Amen. So we'll sing it all together. Oseh Shalom Bimromav Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'imru Amen. And when we sing that later, we'll sing that a couple times in Hebrew, and then I'll sing an English part, which is "May the one who is in the heavens creating peace, may God bring peace to us here on earth," and then we'll join back together in Hebrew. But now that is in your ear, and we'll sing it a little bit later after silent prayer.
Thank you. We continue on page 2 as we welcome Shabbat with the kindling of the Shabbat lights and increase the sweetness of Shabbat with the Shabbat Kiddush on page 5. It's my pleasure to invite my wife, Ronit Sherwin, to join me at the candles and for Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Page 5. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uv'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim kivanu v'charta yotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim b'shabbat kodshecha B'ahava uv'ratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Thank you, Ronit. Though I have been a rabbi for 25 years, the last 10 have been far better than the first 15. 2 weeks ago, Ronit and I celebrated our 10th wedding anniversary. So when I get to be celebrating my 50th, she'll be cleaning up after me. You're all invited. We continue now on pages 4 and 5 with Lecha Dodi. I'm sorry, pages 20 and 21 with Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, hishmiyanu el hamichad, Adonai echad, v'shemo echad, l'shemo tiferet le'kila.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lehu v'necha, yehi mekor habracha, merosh mikeden nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala,
Shabbat nekabela, yitoreh
nekabela. Ohi v'shalom ahateret bala, gam besimcha u'b'tzola, toch emunei amseku kula, boi chala, boi chala. Lecha, lecha, dodi, lecha, dodi, likrat kala, v'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha, dodi, likrat kala, v'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Page 26, Chatzi Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba. Bi'alamad yivarach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chai yechon u'v'yom echon. U'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala, ba'agala. U'v'zman kahari v'imeru. Yehei shemei Rabba mivarach. Le'alam u'le'alamei alamaya. Yitbarach. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudesha. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran bi'alama v'imeru. Amen. Page 28 is our call to prayer.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Let's read together in the English at the top of page 31. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and seasons glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. Pages 34 and 35, Shema Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kivud Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed.
Please be seated. We will continue with the next paragraph of Shema on page 36. V'yahavtaha et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha Hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, b'shivtecha b'veitecha, u'v'lechtecha v'aderech, u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha, u'keshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot bein einecha, u'chetavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha lema'an tizkeruhu va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim le'elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim Lihiot lachem le'Elohim, Ani Adonai Elohechem. These are the same prayers you do at Temple Bethel and Tyler? Two of them. I want to make sure we're not veering too far off the path. We'll continue on page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Micha Mocha, page 40.
Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha mocha nehedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot, Nora tehilot, osef eleh. Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha mocha nehedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot, Nora tehilot, osef eleh. And the river is wide, and the river is deep, and the river is standing between you and me, and freedom, freedom, we shall overcome one day. Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha mocha nehedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot, Nora tehilot, osef eleh. And the river is fear, and the river is hate, and the river is standing between us and the gates of freedom, freedom. We shall overcome one day. With a tambourine and a mighty hand, across the sea and the desert sand, let the children sing for Miriam next year in the promised land. Next year in the promised land. Next year in the promised land. Next year in Jerusalem. Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha mocha nehedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot, Nora tehilot, osef eleh. And the river divides, and the river forgives, and the river's a wall, and the river's a bridge to freedom, freedom. We shall overcome one. Freedom, freedom. We shall overcome one day. Yeah, we shall overcome one day.
Page 43. Please join me in the English at the top of the page. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. Page 44.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, לדורות המריד עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות המריד עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות המריד עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות המריד עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות המריד עולם.
Page 46, please rise for tefillah.
Adonai sifatai titach ufia ki tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise.
Page 48. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, El Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Vezrat Sarah. Page 50. Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol atah Rav Lehoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Berofech Olim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayehem Emunato, Liashenei Afar, Micha Mocha Baal Gevurot, Umido melech, melech memit umechaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman ata lachayot hakol, Baruch ata Adonai, mechaye hakol. Page 52. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalalucha selah. Baruch ata Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated. Page 59. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha, ulecha na'el lehodot. We'll pause now for a few moments of quiet reflection, followed by Rabbi Katz leading us in Oseh Shalom.
Say shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Oh, say shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. May the one who makes peace above make peace descend on all of us, and Israel. Let us say amen. Together, oh say shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. One last time, oh say together, oh say shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu.
We turn now to page 253 as we turn our thoughts to those who are in need of healing of body and spirit. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. We think this Shabbat especially of the following people: Bob Barnett, Alan Brockman, Mike Carbone, Sandy Dobbins, Kathy Federico, Jim France, Valerie Frank, Jeremy Giddis, Alex Goldstein, Clara Gilliams, Joel David Harris, Jillian Hartman, Elizabeth Hyder, Ethan Kadish, Nathan Kinnock, Tyler Kinnock, Kristen Kinnock, Richard Lehrer, Martin Levin, Jody Lokshin, Judine Luntz, Marshall Markowitz, Billy Miller, Rick Monsell, Eric Nussbaum, Batul Ozmat, Bonnie Potus, David Poole, Samantha Rickfrit, Ruth Rothman, Carol Rubin, Mark Sirac, Sharon Smith, Dave Somerville, Kristen Spetich, Kelly Swab, Barbara Turkeltaub, Kristen Turner, Van Walker, David Waltz, Malka Wayne, Florence Weaver, and Bruce White. If you have other names of those about whom you're thinking, I invite you to share those aloud now.
Kathy Cook, Tom Cook.
The middle of page 253 is a musical setting of our prayer for healing. Page 259. Please rise for the prayer for the state of Israel. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'go alo. Barech, Barech, et Medinat Yisrael, Reshit tzmichat geulateinu. Hagein aleha be'evrat chasdecha, uferos aleha sukat shalomecha. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'go alo. Page 374.
Mizrach
Please be seated.
Shabbat Shalom. The last time I was privileged to come to the Bema on a significant anniversary of ordination, I told you that I had 3 sermons, and many of you sat through most of them. Rabbi Komorowski asked me if I would kindly introduce Rabbi Katz this evening, and I said I would be honored to do so, and he guaranteed that you'd be out here on time because there's 1 page. Rabbi Neil Katz. We are pleased to welcome Rabbi Neil Katz to Temple Israel this Shabbat. Rabbi Katz has been with Congregation Beth El of Tyler, Texas since 2003, when he was ordained by the Hebrew Union College in Cincinnati. Rabbi Katz grew up in Virginia Beach and was active in his home congregation of Ohef Shalom in Norfolk. Like Rabbi Komorowski and me, he was active also in the North American Federation of Temple Youth in high school. He earned a degree in political science from George Mason University and worked in Jewish communal life before enrolling in rabbinical school. In addition to his rabbinical work, he is also a talented musician, as you've observed this evening. He has released 3 CDs of original Jewish music and a folk music CD. In 2010, he was a finalist in the Kerrville Musical Festival, New Folk Contest. Yes, a rabbi who can sing. We've had these conversations year after year after year. In addition to his musical talents in the States, when Neil travels abroad, he likes to share his music with member congregations in the World Union for Progressive Judaism. Neil has been honored to share his music and help lead services in progressive Jewish congregations in Warsaw, Paris, Prague, Budapest, London, St. Petersburg, and Copenhagen. At home in Tyler, Rabbi Katz is active in interfaith work. Neil and his wife Jennifer are the parents of Micah, Lila, and Rebecca. And this is the worst cut of them all, Rabbi Komorowski. It is David Komorowski's opinion that Neil Katz is the funniest rabbi alive today. You know the story, what am I, chopped liver? Dear friends, it's always a great pleasure to welcome a colleague who comes to honor a colleague to our pulpit, Rabbi Neil Katz.
No pressure there. That's right. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for inviting me to be here to Temple Israel to honor our good friend and teacher, Rabbi David Komorowski, for 25 years of service as a rabbi. I'm at my congregation, 75 families in Tyler, Texas. I do not like missing Friday night services. It's a no-no for me. But when I got this call, I said, let's find a date that I can get away. I have somebody else filling in for me because it's a smaller community. I don't really have other rabbis who can help. But this was important to be here tonight. And just so you know, from Tyler, Texas, people say, where is Tyler? That's one of its charms, right? Nobody knows where it is. And when I drive to Tyler to Dallas, 2-hour drive, I pass Canton, Texas, every time, right? So here's what I'm now going to say as I drive past Canton, Texas. I'm like, Canton, Texas, good try, but you don't have Heggies, right? I was given a gift of that today. It may be bringing, I'm now angry at Canton, Texas for not having that. Very good. It's an honor to be up here also with Rabbi Spitzer. I know David is honoring 25 years of service, but Rabbi Spitzer, 51 years of service. In Pirkei Avot, Rabbi Elazar said that we should let, quote, the honor of your colleague be as dear to you as the reverence for your teacher, and the reverence of your teacher as dear to you as the reverence of heaven. So in our tradition, there is a clear and dear linear relationship between student to teacher, colleague to heaven, because they're all part of a web of education and engagement and scholarship and friendship that works to bring holiness into our world. I don't know what any of that means, but it's something that David made me read when we were in rabbinic school. It sounded appropriate here. Kidding. Many years ago, a very close friend of mine, who's a rabbi, but he's a number of years older than me, he himself, it's not David, he himself is the son of a rabbi, this other person. And this friend and I were talking about my eventual career choice years ago to become a rabbi. And I was talking about it with all the ups and downs, and this rabbi friend shared a story with me. And it's a painful story. He said that when he told his father, who was a rabbi, that he was going to be a rabbi, the father was not happy. In fact, the father sighed. And he said to his dad, I thought you'd be happy for me, that I want to follow in your footsteps. And what he said is that his father took a deep breath and said, it is a wonderful profession, but it's very lonely. And I don't wish that on you. Oy. Right? And I think about that exchange from time to time when I think about the kind of career David and Rabbi Spitzer and I that we've chosen for ourselves. I get the older rabbi's sentiment that there is a lot of loneliness. We are sent out into the world with an expectation to be scholars and historians and ritual leaders and interfaith partners and educators and more. Sometimes we excel in certain areas. Sometimes we beat ourselves up for not excelling in every area. And on top of that is the relational work that goes into being a rabbi. And so I get the charge of loneliness. So why do we do it? Because when it's done right, the love outweighs the loneliness. The uplift is stronger than the busy work, and the laughter overpowers any silence. So we are in a holy profession. We partner with communities that we serve, and with the right kind of menschlichkeit by the rabbi and the right kind of kavod harav, respect for the rabbi from the congregation, there really is no loneliness. There is Torah and love. So I've known David, oddly, since high school, in the late 80s, early 90s. Another way to say that is when we both had hair. So he was from Akron and I was from Virginia Beach, Virginia. But we were both heavily involved, as Rabbi Spitzer said, in NIFTY, the National Youth Organization. And on one or two occasions, we crossed paths at national events. It was enough of a connection that we remembered each other from those days, only to be rekindled at a chance meeting in Jerusalem during David's first year of rabbinical school in Israel. I didn't put this in here, but I may or may not have been eating ice cream where he stopped at the ice cream store. So that was our nice little connection there. So we connected and we grew that friendship over the next number of years until we ran into each other at a fateful moment in fall of 1999. David had gone straight from undergraduate study at the University of Cincinnati across the street to Hebrew Union College with Israel in between. So David's a year older than me, plus I took 3 years off before I went to rabbinic school. So when I arrived in Cincinnati in the fall of '99, David was a brand new, like a 1-month-old baby rabbi, freshly ordained. While his classmates that year spread out across the country to serve different congregations and organizations, David remained in Cincinnati, having been hired by the school to become the dean of students. So that's how my old friend, David Komorowski, was all of a sudden in charge of me as a student in Cincinnati. And I remember asking someone in the HUC administration about this oddity of David going straight from ordination to working at the school. I was curious why somebody of David's talent didn't immediately go into the world of congregational work, instead opting for a life in an academic institution. And that person shared with me something I never forgot. They said, in fact, David was highly desirable in the pulpit world, and the college knew that. But he was also desirable for them. And so they recognized they had an immensely talented colleague in their midst, and they swept him up before he could leave Cincinnati. All it took was some flattery and a monthly gift card to Grader's Ice Cream. So it seemed like an odd answer, but I saw that wise choice play out over and over again because he was such a great mentor to the students at HUC, myself included, even though he had old friendships with us. Yes, there were a few times when David had to thread the needle of being the dean of students who had to address academic concerns or infractions while talking to his friends. I found myself a couple times in his office having to work through some minor clarifications as a student. But he always followed through with professionalism and love and empathy and comedy. Thus, my old buddy David Komorowski became my dean and ultimately a mentor for me as I made my way through rabbinic school. He was then and remains an important part of my rabbinate. My first child was born in November of 2000, and he was born a few weeks early. And when he was just a few hours old, my son Micah, we had little baby in our arms at the hospital in Cincinnati, and the very first visitor was David. He was a new father himself. The twins were only 11 months old at that point. So he knew not just to come and make a friendly visit, but also to bring supplies. So he had gone to the store and he had purchased preemie onesies for us. He also had printed on them future rabbinical student at HUC Cincinnati. That's not going to be able to play out. And they were perfect. It was just an act of love that was so typical of David. However, I did notice that on my next tuition bill from HUC, it was raised $14.55. When I was ordained in 2003, I decided to move to an underserved community in Tyler, Texas. Just so you know, Tyler's 2 hours from Dallas, 2 hours from Shreveport, about 3.5 hours north of Houston, about 5 hours south of Little Rock. So that's our area. That's what I mean when I say underserved. So once I was gone from Cincinnati, I completely forgot about David, leaving him in the Gold Star chili dust of Clifton Avenue. And I've stayed there at Tyler for 21 years. And to my delight, it was only a few years after I got there that the powerhouse Hillel at the University of Texas at Austin welcomed a new executive director, David. It seems I couldn't get rid of this guy. As expected, David excelled as the executive director of Texas Hillel, shepherding the largest community of Jewish students in Texas in his tenure. I have not met a person who didn't cross paths with David who doesn't talk about him with joy and love. Okay, I've met one person, but let's put that one person aside. Most people who meet David talk about him with joy and love. And then at the top of his Hillel game in Austin, at the top of his game, he quit and moved to San Antonio to be closer to his children. And so the story repeats. Whether he was working for Hillel International, whether he was working for Temple Chai in San Antonio, everyone who interacted with David walked away uplifted. A few years ago, I was in San Antonio, I guess a decade ago, for some conference or a family trip or something, and I went over and had coffee at David and Rodney's house. They had just gotten married here in Ohio, and David shared with me a slight embarrassment that even though they had been married here in Ohio with the religious ceremony, they had forgotten to get the actual marriage license. So they decided to get the marriage license back in Texas, and it happened to be sitting on the kitchen counter waiting to be signed by an officiant. And then a light bulb went off and he said, "Hey, would you sign it? Would I be the technical person signing the marriage license for the two of them, even though they had already been married here in Ohio?" I said, "I don't know if you're kidding, but yeah, of course I would." And over his kitchen counter, I said, "Do you? Yes. Do you? Yes." And there, I signed it. I hope that in the long history of the Jewish people, there will be a footnote that says, "I technically married David to his beloved Ronit in the most unassuming kitchen counter marriage possible." I'm just still waiting on my officiant fee, but it's okay. So only a few months ago, David received his honorary doctorate for 25 years of service in the rabbinate. He's been a beacon of joy and learning to so many of us over these years. So we often joke that the degree that maybe he's told you this, but the joke is that the degree that he received, it's an honorary degree, it's the Doctor of Divinity degree, or the DD. It also stands for didn't die, right? Meaning, if you can make it this long in the rabbinate without dying, you get the degree. It's a cute joke. I'm only 4 years away from getting a didn't die myself. And interestingly, for David, DD is also the size of his yarmulke. So, thanks, David. All right. There was a debate about that joke. There we are. Let me be clear. The accumulated wisdom of 25 years is a lot. Serving the Jewish people can be a difficult task at times. Tomorrow at the Brunch and Learn, we're going to talk about this very thing. We're going to tell some funny stories about having to work with the Jewish community, just so you hear how rabbis process it. But what drives David, what drives Rabbi Spitzer, what drives myself, what drives all rabbis and Jewish professionals, what gets us moving each day is our love and our commitment to the three pillars of Jewish identity: Torah Yisrael, the religious community; Eretz Yisrael, the land; and Am Yisrael, the people. Every day presents new opportunities to teach, to lift up, to sanctify each of these identifiers. And when you get to have colleagues like Rabbi Komarovsky, and when you get to have wonderful communities like Temple Israel, again, there is no loneliness. There is only a constant source of love and renewal. Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek, strength to strength. May we all continue to be strengthened as we honor our beloved Rabbi and pray for more years of Torah and laughter to come. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Neil. And I know who the one person is. I hope that those who will join us tomorrow for the Brunch and Learn will walk away enriched by this funniest rabbi alive. And the footnote to he's the funniest rabbi alive, we joke, that's only because Maimonides died 800 years ago.
He was a hoot.
He was very funny. Thank you, Rabbi Spitzer, for introducing and welcoming Rabbi Katz. I'm not going to give a rebuttal. I just want to tell you that we speak of, in the rabbinate, a shalshelet HaKabbalah, or a chain of tradition, of who your teacher was, who then allows you to teach other people. Never mind Rabbi Katz's pedigree as a rabbi, having learned from the very best. When I was ordained and was hired, someone said, "Oh, that's so impressive. That must say a lot about you." I said, "I think it says more about the Hebrew Union College, that they would hire a 27-year-old. But Rabbi Katz's real pedigree, his real yichus, is that his uncle, who he had introduced me to a number of times, was the late great actor Stephen Furst, who played Flounder in Animal House and gave me an autographed picture that is still in my office.
Tell them what the picture says.
On the picture it says, "Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son." Thank you, Rabbi Katz, for schlepping. I know that it's not easy to get from Tyler to anywhere, but it's also not easy to get to Tyler. And one of the things that impressed me most about Rabbi Spitzer is what impresses me about Rabbi Katz, and that is the consistency. Rabbi Katz's entire rabbinate thus far has been in one congregation. And there may be 75 families. There were 750 when he got there. But he has been able to have an impact on the lives of multiple generations of families, as Rabbi Spitzer continues to do here. And that I envy. And having moved after 6 years in one place, 8 in another, and 7 in another, I missed that. Otherwise, I envy nothing. Thank you, Susie, for leading our music as well. Thank you, Rabbi Spitzer. Thank you to Ronit and to my friends and family who are here this evening, especially to the family who schlepped from far away like Cleveland and Youngstown, and my mom and my sister who came from Columbus. Thank you for being here. And a few people who came from Akron, including Mitzi Mild. Why don't you wave, Mitzi? Mitzi Mild's claim to fame is that she was the kindergarten teacher in Sunday school at Temple Israel in Akron in 1977, who taught both me and Julie Zorn. So in that Shalshelet HaKabbalah, Mitzi Mild's impact is felt throughout all of the students here. The complaints will come directly to you. Thank you to Debbie Spedich and Patty Green and Daryl Vanest and Kyle Arce, who worked tirelessly here to make sure that this all happened and that the air conditioning worked. Kanahara. And to the volunteers who put this together, Mary Jo Lakshin, Barb Spira, David Whitehill. And to our board leadership who always allocates funds for things that are in line with the mission of the congregation and things which are not in line with the mission of the congregation, like honoring the Pisher, who's only been here for 4 years, celebrating 25, on the heels of the person who is your rabbi for the last 43. And that board has, for the last 3 years, been led by John Spira. John, this is your final Shabbat as temple president. All of this is just a ruse to get you back on the bima in a tie, which means that he couldn't ride his motorcycle to Shabbat services this evening. We will thank John properly on Sunday at our annual meeting. But John, thank you for being here consistently and for always going with the flow. You have been here tirelessly, sometimes fixing my tires. But you've been an extraordinary partner for me these last 3 years, and I hope that as you finally get to retire from now having been president of the congregation twice, that for you, my blessing is this: every day from here on out should be for you Shabbat. Mr. Spira, it's your turn.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. And thank you, Susie, and thank you, Rabbi Katz, for joining us. I hope you'll continue and come tomorrow at 10:30 for our brunch and learn. And then a reminder is the annual meeting is Sunday at 11 o'clock, so we have people signed up online, but please come if you can. So I'd like to welcome everyone here who is personally here and those who are on Zoom. I think this is an excellent turnout, and I'm very pleased that we had such a good turnout. I want to thank Rabbi Katz for traveling from Texas to join us for this celebration, and I want to thank, as Rabbi did, the chair people involved, Mary Jo Lakshin, along with the committee members, Debbie Spedich, David Whitehill, and all the others who helped out this weekend. And if you notice, Patty was running around just trying to get the air conditioning working, and you know, she works tirelessly for us. So after everything that Rabbi Katz had said, I don't know what's left to say about Rabbi David, Rabbi Kay, or simply David. Well, he's very smart, he's brilliant, I might add. He's a computer guru and technologically a genius. Now, I know all this is true because, Rabbi, every time I see your mother, she tells me. So thank you. I've been fortunate to work with Rabbi for 3 years, and in that short time, you've shown not just me, but the entire congregation, how committed you are to Temple Israel. And Rabbi, that is a two-way street because we are committed to you. You not only brought your family here, your enormous skill set, but you also brought that insatiable sense of humor that is infectious. Ronit, Batia, and Natan wish that you'd leave it at the office more often. Whether you're giving a sermon or leading a meeting, many times you'll say something that will just crack everyone up, break the tension that's in the room, and your sense of humor is always appreciated. Guidance and a voice for the Jewish community has always been part of our culture here at Temple Israel, as rabbis in the past have embraced the position of spokesman for the Jewish people here in Canton, a task you never really signed up for, but you openly picked up the mantle to carry on this long-standing tradition at Temple Israel, and we thank you for that. Your integrity, honesty, and commitment to full transparency in your rabbinating career are a blessing for all of us. These values you treasure and have in turn instilled in your work with our board and trustees and congregation are ones that have made us stronger and serve as an asset to us all. Though your sermons are too long, that was in my first draft. Although I mean just perfect in length, and they are thoughtful, educational, and meaningful. So many times they give us insight and connection to Jewish values, Jewish traditions, and teaching for which are infused in today's society. On a personal note, working with you has been a pleasure. You always listen, you take our input very seriously and with respect. So on behalf of the congregation and Board of Trustees, I would like to present to you a couple of tokens of our appreciation for all that you have done and to honor you for your 25 years in the rabbinate, and we look forward to the next 25.
I was hoping it would be a Laurel and Hardy handshake. Blazing Saddles, yes.
Yes.
Oh, thanks. Should I open?
Yes, yes, please.
Is it Haggie's chocolate?
It is not.
Oh,
So it is a
beautiful.
plaque and a
Oh, very
presentation.
nice.
We planted 10 trees in Israel for you in
Wow.
your name. So that's just a
Thank
plaque
you.
to commemorate that.
you don't have to water those, Ronit. Oh,
But
thank
we
you.
wanted to do something else, and we weren't quite sure, so with the help of Rabbi Katz, we
The big help with
Is it
Rabbi Katz.
is it a pop-up book?
Well, you know what, there's such a wonderful side of David, the kind, sweet, knowledgeable, that we have to do something serious, but we can't let go the other side of him that we all know and love. How funny and enlightening he is every
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It says, "We are the lucky ones for having you in our lives. Your passion, support, and dedication to Temple Israel are what makes it so easy to love and respect you. Mazel tov on your 25 years in the rabbinate." Oh my God. So it's Jeff Ross. I'm blanking on what his name is. Who did, Natan would know, he did all those movies like Step Brothers and all those things with Judd Apatow. Me, Gilbert Gottfried. I can't tell who that is. David Tell, Jackie Martling, Paul Schaefer, Richard Kind, Susie Essman, and Frank Santopadre. So my comedy buddies. Oh, that's great. Thank you. That's going right in the ark. Thank you. Thank you. We will continue now on page 282. Page 282, as we rise for Aleinu L'Shabeach. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol,
Latiknu la liotzer bereshit, shalom
We turn now to page 294 as we prepare to recite the words of Mourner's Kaddish. We recall the following people who died at this season in years past as we remember the yard sites of Byron G. Brubaker, Annie Cohen, Francis Kahn, Abe Dreyer, Daniel H. Einstein, Ladine Fetters, Harry Ginsberg, Gertrude Milstein Ginsberg, Michael Gold, Minette Goldsmith, Rose Gurin, Lena S. Halley, Eva Cathy, Joseph Klein, Mary Jane Lotman, Genevieve Lotman, Hilda Love, Sandra Miller, Lillian Monk, Jerome Nussbaum, Meyer Putterman, Dr. James L. Reinglass, Harry Roth, Arthur L. Rubenstein, Aaron Skolnick, Janine Thompson, and Bonnie Woods. As well, we remember one who has died in the last 30 days, Michelle Watson. I apologize if I mispronounced any of your loved ones' names and invite you now to share corrected pronunciations of names that I read or additional names that you're remembering for Kaddish. Thank you. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, bi'alma divarach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivarach le'olam u'le'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yit hadar v'yit aleh v'yit halal shmei dekudesha barichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Please be seated. One of the great things that I got to do when I was a Hillel director was lead trips to Israel, where I was the oldest person on the bus. A year ago, February, Reverend Michael Wallace, who is a number of years younger than I am, from Christ Presbyterian Church, and I led an interfaith trip to Israel, where I was not the oldest person on the bus by any stretch of the imagination, and it was magnificent. I didn't have to climb up or down Masada. And there are a number of people here today, or here this evening, the Shabbat, who were on that trip, and we had wonderful memories together, falling into the ocean, falling in love with new places. And one of the things that we did, I've been to Israel so many times, I got to see different things because I had not been to Bethlehem in so many years. And you know what? Christians experience Bethlehem differently than Jewish people do. And I had also never been to a restaurant with a group of Christian pilgrims where everyone was so polite. And I felt the need to translate politeness into Hebrew. But one of the highlights of that trip for me was we went to the Garden of Gethsemane, and it was an interfaith group. There were Protestants, Catholics, Jews, and the difference is primarily when we have the bread. Jews do it at the end of the meal, because who wants to get up once you're comfortably seated? But watching a group of Christians take communion with each other, and a group of Christians remember their baptisms in the Jordan River, while Judy and Mark and Alicia and I got to stay warm and dry on the shore, was magnificent. And experiencing that and experiencing the symbols that are common between our traditions, and this is something that Rabbi Spitzer and Rabbi Katz and I all get to enjoy in living our rabbinates in a smaller Jewish community where there are not a lot of other rabbis. We find that our friends in this lonely work of ministry are often Christian clergy. And especially at times such as today with rising anti-Semitism, that finding those allies who love the Jewish people as we are and celebrate moments with us. We may not do the sacraments, but the things that we do together are sacred. So we welcome Shabbat with the lighting of the Shabbat candles, increasing light in a darkening world, increasing the sweetness of Shabbat with the fruit of the vine. And we prepare to conclude our time together by giving thanks to God for the sustenance of the earth with challah that is miraculously pre-sliced and gift wrapped. So please come help yourself at the conclusion of the service. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Blessed is God, sovereign of the universe, who brings forth bread from the earth.
Do it from here, is that okay? Yeah. So I'm going to close the service with a song of mine. The Oseh Shalom was also mine. The deal I made with David was, if I come up here, I have to do a couple of my own songs because it's streaming live on YouTube and I'll get the royalties for it. So, that's it. That's the reason why.
That's your $14.55.
There's my $14.55. You should know there's another rabbi involved in this story who wrote some songs with me years ago, and his wife believes that I'm a millionaire, that I have a second home in Florida off of royalties from this, really. And I said, I promise you, every few months I get a check for $3.12. Like, it's just funny. So fine. I'm going to close out a service tonight. I just want to thank, of course, there's a lot of thanking going on here, but of course, Rabbi Komarovsky, but also to Debbie for all of the contacts and help. I'm going to close with a song that some of you may not have heard before. It's called Be a Light, because what's more appropriate here in June than to sing a song about Hanukkah? Now, it's my folk song about Hanukkah, but it never mentions Hanukkah. There's just 8 candles. So Jews know, wink, wink, it's about a menorah, but it's really about each candle representing a blessing for my children. And so when you hear the chorus, and we'll sing through it a few times, the chorus, feel free to sing along. It's got a very easy chorus. Be a light, you'll hear it. I'm going to make a final comment that is, it really only impacts me, but it's just a personal comment that this past week, a close friend of mine passed away named Tom Prasada Rao. Tom was my hero, singer, songwriter, musician. I was a fan of his, then I became a friend of his, and then he ended up producing 2 of my projects, including my Hanukkah CD. So if anybody goes and finds this song online, you're going to hear Tom's production of this, and it's got his heartprint on it. And he was like one of the greats of our generation. And so as I sing this tonight, of course I'm singing and sharing with you, but I'm thinking of Tom, that his memory remains a light as well. So we wish each other Shabbat Shalom as I close out. With the first candle I pray that you may be safe from all of the troubles around you this day. With the second candle I hope that you are secure in what you believe, that your heart may be pure. With the third candle I pray that you will stay kind to all those around you, each new friend you find. With the fourth candle I wish that you find delight and love what you do with all of your might. Be a light, be a light. Shine proudly and loudly in the dark of the night. be a light, shine so bright, burn glorious, victorious, with all of your might. Be a light, be a light, be a light. Be a light, be a light, shine proudly and loudly in the dark of the night. Be a light, shine so bright, burn glorious, victorious, with all of your might. Be a light, be a light, be a light. With the fifth candle I want that you should be strong, do the best you can all your life long. With the sixth candle I pray that you will be smart, fill your life with learning, be true to your heart. With the seventh candle I hope that you will be fair, always remember those who live in despair. With the eighth candle I pray that you'll go to sleep, and while you are resting you'll dream a sweet dream. Be a light, be a light, shine proudly and loudly in the dark of the night. Be a light, shine so bright, burn glorious, victorious, with all of your might. Be a light, be a light, be a light. Last time we sing together. Be a light, be a light, shine proudly and loudly in the dark of the night. Be a light, shine so bright, burn glorious, victorious, with all of your might. Be a light, be a light, be a light. As we came together in peace, may we go in peace. I wish everyone Shabbat Shalom. So the guy who produced it, Tom Prasad Rao. Picture is a lot of fun. Yeah, it's fun. So, whenever I travel around, we read those cities. So, whenever I travel, I'm playing a song or song sermon, lead a service, so let me do something. And I've had a lot of people reach out to me. It's been a lot of fun, especially in Europe. They hang around with those communities. But I shared Be a Light. You saw the video version of it?
That was great.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I love that song. You spoke so well.
Thank you.
I was crying.
Hi,
That's
how
a
you
beautiful
doing?
song, huh? Everything
We're
makes
very
me
familiar.
cry.
It's funny. Yeah.
Hey, Susie?
Say good things. Say it again. Is he in? Where's her? Oh, at the Air Force Academy. No, I don't. It sounds familiar. I don't think I've ever. So when you say east side of Cleveland, is that, I don't know Cleveland, is that Beechwood? So my wife's family, my wife had family in Seoul. That's west. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, great. Wonderful. We had a chance to meet in advance. And who? I did not. I think I'm a little bit older. Oh, maybe. Maybe we did. Thank you so much. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Excuse me. He's pocket size.
So we're in different
Probably. Yeah. No, I didn't want to do my own, but I did do Nifty. Like my David and my sister.
That's cool. There was a scene, like sometimes people who do that reach out to me in advance. I don't know. Sometimes I get a chance to see, like, send me, I don't feel to see a video. Hi, how you doing? Hi, Ben. Even better. 14. So I just had dinner last night with Stuart Baskin. He's the first president. He was in charge of the Grace Presbytery. Yeah. So that's who I lead Israel trip with, Stuart. So the running joke is that I'm the assistant pastor of First Pres.
That's funny. That's funny.
Thank you so much. Good. So I was telling her, so I had dinner last night with the pastor of First Pres in Tyler, who I do my Israel trip with. We did a few, I think we're done because I've run out of Jews to bring with me. So he's going to continue with them every couple of years. But he goes like to Scotland and Israel next. So Stuart and I said we just had dinner. And the running joke is I'm the assistant pastor at First Pres. Good to see you. Thank you.
Safe travels. When do you head home?
Sunday.
You flying to Dallas?
Yeah, and I drive. I had to leave. I left Tyler. I got up at 3:30 this morning. Left at 3 to get to Dallas. Catch the 7 o'clock. That's my home. But it's better than flying out of Tyler. Right. Because Tyler is terrible airport.
Yeah.
Do you love how it came out?
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I sent this to one
Oh,
of
that's so nice.
one of his a guy who graduated a year before him in '72. Spencer, they're friends. And he's the guy who's leading services at my congregation.
That's lovely. So you'll never guess what he's been doing the past year.
No, it's a. Like, this is the social together, but this is the show. But that's the temple.
So I have a friend, it's a different component for the soldiers. So that's what I call
I love it. Where'd you get that done? Thank you very much. Yeah.
No, I ordered through a company, but I kind of designed it, because you and I were talking about it, and you threw out a bunch of people that you were friendly with.
I was like, can you help me get some names out?
I'm gonna take a picture of this and send it to all of them. Oh, they're gonna plot. That's great. Debbie, thank you. Okay, I'm coming right back. Thank you.
You gonna get that?
Come on back. We're gonna decide what we want better than we want.
I think we need to grab those flowers and we need to take them back into the fridge. Go ahead and just pick it up if you can.
I think I got one for trash.
So, Raymond, can you think? That's not fit. Gonna have to go to Daryl's kitchen.
Can it go in the cooler?
I'm gonna have to go to Daryl's kitchen. Oh, the little one from out here, I put in Julie's refrigerators in our kitchen.
Okay.
But it's just too hot and silly to let them sit out.
Oh, I agree. So let's put it in the cooler.
Now I'm gonna take it back to Daryl's cooler.
Can you believe you still holding us? Didn't think we would. I really didn't.
I never know. And Ernie's probably one.
Will you eat tomorrow morning? Maybe he'll do blessing tomorrow morning before we eat.
Yep.